some areas could have 30, 40 millimetres of rain, particularly northern and western parts of England and Wales. So quite a soaking, unfortunately, with the river levels still high and the ground still saturated. Slightly chillier air coming in behind with some showers as well. But it's a brighter end today. Northern Ireland and Scotland having a brighter day. As you can see, the start of the week is bringing some drier weather, and we hope we'll see more of that later in the week. But in the interim, through the middle part of next week, a little bit more rain to come through. Hello, you're watching Afternoon Live. I'm Martine Croxall. Today at 4, 798 people have now tested positive for coronavirus in the UK, up more than 200 from yesterday's figure. Mayoral and local elections in England have been postponed for a year due to the coronavirus outbreak. Buckingham Palace says the Queen has postponed some public engagements for next week. All professional English and Scottish football matches are suspended. The latest official advice: self-isolate for 7 days if you have a cough or a fever. The top advisor says their tactic is to protect the NHS from overload. Across Europe, the outbreak curtails travel and shuts schools, museums and galleries. The markets stage a partial recovery after this week's huge falls in stock values. The British Airways warns of job losses, saying it faces a crisis of global proportions like no other. And coming up on Afternoon Live, all the sport. And Jane, we're hearing about more and more sporting events having to be cancelled.
Yes, football not the only sport affected by coronavirus. England's cricket tour of Sri Lanka is off, as is this weekend's Six Nations Wales-Scotland match. But in the one sport going ahead, Alban Photo has won back-to-back Gold Cups at Cheltenham.
Jane, thank you very much. And we'll get all the weather from Helen. Good afternoon. It's been pleasant today, very few showers around, lighter winds, some March sunshine, and we will see some March sunshine over the weekend, but we will also, all of us, see more rain and at times some strong winds. I'll have more details just as that happens. Also coming up, one other story to bring you this hour. A report into a green energy scheme that contributed to the collapse of Northern Ireland's government in 2017 finds mistakes were made, but says there was no corruption.
Good evening.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
A little bit tired. Maybe not feeling very well, but anyway, it can happen. So how about you?
It happened a very funny situation this morning. I woke up very early at 7 o'clock in the morning and right to my swimming pool, to my training. So I get out of the taxi, paid money for a driver, wanna open door, but it is locked. I didn't understand what happened, and so I was standing near my swimming pool for half an hour, and then my friend called me and said that today swimming pool doesn't work. I said, wow, and I drive back to home.
Yeah, and important to say what these are.
But,
I think you understood.
Yeah, I understood, but I didn't understand why it's not working.
because
Prepare our students for the future
no
now.
idea why swimming
Realize the
pool
world is
didn't
changing
work.
very
Maybe
fast, and that the
but
work
there
that
were
we
some
do
troubles,
is very
but it didn't work.
In English language teaching, students aren't just developing
And I
language,
spent a lot
they're
of time.
developing a
I
whole
just
range
hold
of
on.
other skills.
to negotiate, they need to communicate with each other, they need to collaborate with each other.
The Cambridge Life Competencies Framework is a comprehensive system that includes 6 key competencies.
Yeah.
Creative.
Sorry. Okay, say it again, please. I'm very sorry about that. I didn't.
Maybe there were some troubles, so it didn't work. I actually I have no idea why it didn't work today, but it was like this.
Yeah, I understand. So, Dasha, how about you?
I'm fine. Today we have started to rehearse our dance for graduation. So I gave my mom a gift for no reason because I wanted to please her. So I think that's all for today.
Okay. So we have a newcomer, Stepan. Do you want to say hello to us? Do you want to say hello to us? Probably not. Okay. So he just disconnected. Anyway, how about the latest news, the latest world news, top stories? Do you have something to say about the top stories in the world?
I heard that in China the coronavirus has overcome.
I read today that maybe coronavirus will stop at the end of June this year, but I think it won't because it's very global and serious problem, and it's really hard to stop it.
So I was just listening the top stories from the BBC World News, and what they said that lots of political events have been postponed, like some Queen's engagements, then some political negotiations, then lots of schools shut because students do not have classes in the United Kingdom. And probably you know that the United States of America, they shut their airports for the visitors from Europe for 1 month. Then all the soccer matches postponed in the United Kingdom till April 4th, and all the basketball games postponed in the United States of America for 1 month. So it's kind of a very serious.
Distancing in one part of the world.
Yeah, and you can see that it's everywhere. Yeah, you wanted to say something?
Me?
I don't know. Just
No, I didn't. You said that America closed all closed airports for visitors from Europe and China, so the same did Russia.
Yeah.
No, the same Russia did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and you know, the funniest thing is that I was in Moscow a couple of weeks ago. I was in Moscow airport, and you know, the buses in the airport are so overcrowded that you have to literally breathe in the air from the person standing next to you, and of course we didn't wear any masks, so it's I don't know. it's kind of weird, but anyway, yeah. Dasha, you wanted to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. So you said that you are taking practice in this dancing performance. So you are planning to take part in the performance for the graduation party, right?
Yeah.
So where will that be? In the center of your city, or which part in your school, or where is it going to be?
It will happen at the center of our of my town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand. All right. Very good and excellent. So I think that we can move on with the book. And as I remember, I didn't tell you the word the previous class. If you remember, I just asked you what was the word which American guy read as Keksep. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
So have you understood which word was that? No? You
No,
No.
we gave up.
All right, yeah. So
I even Googled it.
what is that?
I Googled it. Can I say that?
And nothing happened. You found out
Yeah.
nothing, right? Okay, yeah, I understand. But see, it's extremely easy. All right, so it's sorry. That's it. Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. Sachar.
Yeah. So that's the word which this American guy, he read it like Keksep. Okay, makes sense. So that's what he read like Keksep. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. Dasha,
Yeah.
can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So you understand this word, which was very difficult for the Russian,
Risk defines that.
for the American guy
It's
to.
difficult for us to comment
Okay,
on the
excuse
individual
me, I will
actions
just.
of an individual nation.
All right.
But I
Yeah.
don't see the connection between SSCR and Keksep.
But
We talked about Gagarin and USSR.
so Gagarin is just like when you have it. If you read it with the English letters, it will be CCCP. Okay, you understand? And the same if you read these letters in English, the first letter will be C or K, because if you remember the rules of the English reading, we read C. We read only when after this letter we have I, E, or Y, and then we read it like C.
Oh, okay, I got it.
And all the rest letters we read it like K. So for example, if you read the word circle, you can see that the first letter is C, circle, and the second C is K, circle, K. And the same will go with the letter G. If you have after G I, E, or Y, then it will be read like G, for example, George. But if you have other letters, it will be go. So you don't remember this reading rule? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's, or here you can see the word cat. Of course, there are some exceptions, like the word girl. That's the exact oh my goodness, exception. Yeah. So that is why now, Dasha, you can see this word kaksa, right?
Yeah, where you can say a letter C in different ways.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So now the kind of the usual rubric that we have during the class is talking a little bit about English around us. Have you noticed something interesting in English written around you in your city, or you know, in a shop, in a store? Can you think of some English words which you encountered during the last week? Can you think of it?
No.
I can just give you one example. You know, I was driving in a car yesterday, and I saw there was the sign in my city mall. So I think that you know the word shopping mall, right? So the question to you is, what is a mall? Excuse me, not shopping, but shopping. Excuse me, shopping mall. So the question to you is, what is mall?
I think how I remember, shopping mall is big, ну, большой торговый центр.
And you use Russian for explanation of the English language. You just
Okay.
Yeah.
Shopping mall is a really big center where you can buy what you want.
Okay, Dasha, any explanation?
Just like Mark, shopping center.
Yeah, but see, I don't know. Maybe you heard about Pall Mall. Some people in America call it Pall Mall. It's a game like cricket. And do you know the game of cricket?
Yes.
So you play the game of cricket with so-called mallet and balls. Let me show it to you. Mallet is it's just like a hammer, if you understand that. A hammer. Okay. Do you see my point? No? Okay. Let me show it to you. So that's the game of Pall Mall. That's a very old game. Yeah. All right. So see, this is a very old game, and now you can see these people with mullets. It's just like cricket. Okay. These are mullets. You understand?
Mm.
It's just like a hammer. You understand the word hammer? No? What is a hammer?
I know a car hammer.
No, it's hammer. It's not a hammer. Hammer, and you are talking about hammer.
Huh, okay.
So what is a hammer in Russian? Okay, you have to know some English words. So this is the word hammer, and that's a car. Hammer. Okay.
Это молоток?
Yeah, something like that. So, and also you know that the same mallet the judge has. You understand the word judge?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is a judge? So that's a hammer. Hammer car, SUV. So, do you understand the word judge? No?
Judge.
What is a judge? Excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Judge. It's in the court. You understand the word court?
Судья.
Yeah.
Да, да.
And so the judge has also this mullet, you know. Or you
Парик. Парик.
no, it's a wig. What you're saying, it's called wig. Hammer or mullet, the judge. Okay, I will show it to you. When the judge decides which verdict to pronounce, so then he hits the mullet. Yeah, judge mullet. You understand that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is judge mullet or gavel also gavel. You know that you have lots of English words, very different, and the court system and judge. All right. So that was kind of a little bit interesting about of what we talked the previous class. So when we think of the why we say shopping mall, this alley which we watched, this long alley is called mall. So people just can walk along this long alley. And then people started to call the place where you can walk and buy something and do shopping, they start to call it mall. So that is why we call it a shopping mall. All right, so as you remember, we started with the question English around us, and I reminded you about the word shopping mall. So now can you think of English around us, some of your examples?
No, but I'll just try to pay attention to it.
Okay, we have some newcomers, and maybe they want to say hello to us. So we have iPhone user and we have Andrew. Do you want to say something? Do you want to say hello to us? Please do. Feel free. One person disappeared immediately. Andrew, do you want to say hello to us? Probably not. Okay, if you want to say hello, just anytime jump in and say hello and we will start talking. All right, all right. Now, what do you want? What do you guys want to talk about? Of course, I have, as always, I have something to do during the class, but I just wanted to ask you, maybe you have some questions or maybe you have some suggestions, comments, you want to talk about something?
It was a lesson when Mark was absent. We compared two photographs and tried to see the similarities between them.
Yeah, you're talking about president? President or teachers or dogs or what was that? Two pictures of what?
So the first task was when you and your friend were in these photographs, and you asked us to see the similarities.
See the what?
Similarities.
Similarities. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Not really, but I think that I can understand your point. But please explain if you want to say something more.
Maybe we should just so let me think.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so while you're thinking, I have something to suggest. Let me, if you can see right now, the page which we finished talking last time. So let's skip a little bit, and like you said, speaking part 2. Now look at this. Why I talked about 2 pictures. So let's have a look at these 2 pictures and 2 photographs, and let's discuss the questions. So you have the questions here. Which of these places would you prefer to work in and why?
To ask me?
That's both of you, Mark and you, of course.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, I prefer to work in a place that is presented in the picture too, because in this place I can work with my friends and colleagues, and I think that the idea of working with them and feel friendly atmosphere is really nice.
Okay, Mark, what are your ideas? Hello, Mark. Yeah, Mark, you know, Mark has gone somewhere. Okay, but you have some other questions here. Just have a look at it. What might be the problems associated with working in the other place? So, have you ever thought of working remotely?
Remotely?
Yeah, remotely. That means that you work from your home place.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah, Mark, which of these places would you prefer to work in and why?
Which of the places? I think now I'm picture number 1 because I like it more. There are more workplaces, so the chance will be more to work there. And there are a lot of people, and they can help each other and can communicate in different ways.
All right, and then what might be the problems associated with working in the other place?
Problems working in the other place. Problems working in other place. Okay. Maybe just imagine the situation. You came to your job, and you need help from your colleagues, but they work in other places, and you can't ask somebody about something, and then you don't understand what to do. So
Yeah, I got your point. But let's see. Let's say that you chose the first picture, right? And
yeah.
the question is, what might be the problems associated with working in the other place? So the meaning is in the second picture. Why didn't you choose the second picture, the other picture?
Why didn't I choose the second picture?
Yeah. What don't you like in the second picture?
question is easy, but actually I can't answer. I don't know why, but I like the first picture more than the second.
Dasha, maybe you have something to say. So which picture did you choose?
So I've chosen photo number 2. I think that in the first photo, people are involved with their own work, and I don't think that they will communicate with each other. They're so busy with their own work.
Okay. All right. So how do you think the relationship between employees and their managers is different in these two workplaces? The relationship.
Can you remind us, or just me, employers?
Employees, employer, that's the person who gives you the job, and employee
Okay.
is a worker who works there. So the employer hires you, gives you the job.
Okay, employers is higher than the manager.
And the manager can hire you also. It's just the different word.
Okay, I think that relationship between employers and managers on the first picture is not so. I don't know the word to say. It's not good for them. And on the second picture, we see that 3 people smiling, standing and discussing something. Maybe, just maybe, some of them are, okay, 2 of them are manager, and between them is employer standing, and they communicate in very good way. Yes.
All right, Dasha, what do you think?
As I said before, in the first picture we can see managers, and in the second, employees. Yes.
No, it's not. No, you didn't understand the question. So see, okay, I will just say it in Russian. Employer means работодатель, employer. The manager can be an employer, and employee, it's a worker. Employee это служащий. And you know that every worker or every employer should have connections, should have relationship. And where do you think it's much easier to have relationship for the managers and the workers? In the first picture or in the second picture, where it's easier to have a good relationship for the manager and the employees?
I think that the relationship between employees is much closer because in this photo they're so happy to be with each other, and I can maybe they help with each other. So I think that they have more strong bond with each other.
Okay.
So that's it.
Yeah, Mark, do you want to say something? No? Okay, we can yeah, we can read one of the answers of the students. So it's examiner, excuse me. Excuse me. So you see, we have the answer by Claudia and Costas. Now, Dasha, will you please read the answer to this question given by Claudia. Please.
In this picture, all the employees are sitting at their own computers, so they almost certainly can see each other. This probably means that they don't talk to each other very often, except in their breaks. It looks like a very big office, maybe with hundreds of employees, so it could be a call center of some kind. In this picture, the manager may work in a separate office, so the chances are he or she is quite remote from the staff. He or she might not even know all the employees' names, but probably has to check regularly how hard they are working. By contrast, the other question shows a small, open office with just a few employees. I should think that these employees have good relationships with each other, and we can see that they all look quite happy. Their manager may be in this office, but you can't tell who it is. I'd say he or she knows the names of all the staff and probably doesn't need to check how hard they're working. In offices like this, I imagine it's possible to have regular meetings so that problems and difficulties can be sorted out before they get worse.
Okay, and then Mark, will you please read what Costas said?
No problem. I'd much rather work in the office on the right because everyone looks so happy and relaxed. I guess the atmosphere in the other office might be very tense. I think I'd find this office quite a stressful place to work in. I think it's probably a call center and these places have a bad reputation. Yes?
Yes, reputation.
Reputation as places to work. I know from experience that I work better if I am relaxed. I am also quite a sociable person, so I'd enjoy the social side of any job I did. I think it would be easier to make friends with colleagues in this office.
All right. So now you have some ideas, and I will just tell a little bit about the vocabulary and the pronunciation. So first of all, Mark, we say colleagues, colleagues. Okay, say it, please.
Colleagues.
Yeah, colleagues. And
Colleagues.
then we say in the picture, in the picture.
And how I said?
You say on the picture.
In the picture, yes.
The English people say that на картинке мы можем увидеть только пыль. То, что мы видим в картинке, in the picture. So that's how English people say in the picture, okay? Not on the picture. На картинке только пыль, okay? You understand that?
Yes, thanks.
All right. Yeah, that's quite, that's a very common mistake. All right, and then as you can see, this first lady, she said that this is probably in the first picture, they all sitting at their own computers and they cannot see each other. They do not talk to each other very often, except in their breaks, перерывы. It looks like a very big office, maybe hundreds of employees, so it could be a call center. Call center, you know this word, call center, right? Do you understand call center? In Russian, we say it right now, call center. Ну, это может быть переговорная, там, я не знаю, МТС, когда вы звоните, или Билайн, там будет, вы звоните на колл-центр. Вам отвечают множественные операторы. You understand?
Yes.
All right. So, in this picture, the manager may work in a separate, то есть на этой картинке менеджер, наверное, или директор работает в отдельном кабинете, separate office. So the chances he or she is quite remote, что он слишком отдален от своего персонала, from the staff. He or she may not even know the employee's name, скорее всего, он даже имена не знает. But probably has to check regularly how hard they are working, но часто проверяет, насколько упорно они работают. By contrast, the other picture shows a small open Вторая по контрасту. Маленький офис, несколько служащих. I should think that these employees have good relationship with each other, and you can see that they look quite happy. Their manager may be in this office, manager может быть в том же самом кабинете, but you cannot tell who it is. Но сказать невозможно, кто это. I'd say he or she knows. Он точно знает имена персонала. Probably doesn't need to check how hard they're working. Не нужно ему надзирать и проверять, как они хорошо работают. In offices like this, I imagine it's possible to have regular meetings, у них постоянное собрание.